Coach, some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals.
Let's go!
Check 53,
Bound to lose one.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, pick your game up.
Here's Carson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. This is Carson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Mike Foto, you're not ready. You're not ready.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got Lockett. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Jim. Watch twin.
From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Even though it's the opening drive of the game, he wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football, even knowing the defense is definitely going to take their shots at him. And that's exactly what they did. He better learn to slide, otherwise he won't be around to finish this one.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Check, 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 check. Check safety, check safety.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 23-yard
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And able to find Kirk complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A Cardinal 1st down on a gain of 13. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Murray. This short throw caught by Goddard. A gain of 10, 1st down, Arizona. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Let's get it. On the ready. On side. Tie it right. Tie it right. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Throwing on 2nd down. Murray. This short throw caught by Goddard. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The run on 1st down gets them a couple up to the 27. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a give, right side. Carson. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 43. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now it's Carson, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now, it's Carson, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for.
The Cardinals take over first and
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over, yet they are.
And he lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set. 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. To throw on 2nd and 6, Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now Jones. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal, Murray to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes the score 14 to 7. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. A beautiful fake. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Going for Metcalf on the... He's got a man, complete. It's a gain of 35.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
On 1st down, Carson. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Here's Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. That goes for 14 yards. 1st down, Cardinals.
1st and 10 at the 17.
Murray now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. From the shotgun to give to Jones. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They come up in an offset eye.
54, line 54. Ready? Check. Crunch. Crunch. Slam, slam, slam. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Basham coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The kick by Lambeau is good. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch one. Single.
To throw, it's Murray. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation in there, the defense won the battle.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Murray going to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Murray now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. 1st down, Murray. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Single.
On 2nd and 7, Murray. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now a first down carry by Jones. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, it's Murray. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Dallas Goedert, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their halftime hold now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
He lets it fly for Lockett, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, flying in there for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. That was really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taken in at the 11. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Murray now on first down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Check 3, check.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
25, check 23.
Again, it's Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Murray now on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker Bobby Wagner able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Murray now to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. Touchdown, Cardinals! Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
He lets it fly for Lockett. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. We got 4. 1, 6, 3. He's crashing. He's trying.
Now Murray off play action. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. And even 40 yards. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes
and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 24. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw again on second down. Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. And the Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Buda Baker with a pick. The 20. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They were looking Jennings' way again, but it's going to be second down. To throw is Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick. Jennings was the one he was looking for. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
They'll go again to Jones. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. The Cardinals on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's it, baby. We go, run.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes in.
And it's a fumble. And the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic, but downfield in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Check 24, check 24. Check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Showing it. Check 3.
Now a handoff here to his running back. There he goes again, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. And he will take this all the way down to the Cardinals' 15. A great run, but, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Double tight.
Ready?
And they will take a knee here.
On the keeper.
Here we go. Set. 10-2 start.
Double tight. Hey, we are.
Hit it.
And they take a knee.
On the keeper.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Arizona, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you.